While not the birthplace of Chilean wine, one could make a pretty good argument that the Colchagua Valley is the heart and soul of today's Chilean wine industry. Some of the best wines and most famous names call the Colchagua Valley their home, and you'll find both at my first visit, Viña Montes.
Actually, it was a retirement project. We wanted to do something like 30,000 cases in 5 years, and have a very nice and sweet, older days, and walk the vineyards and so on. But what happened is that the first year we achieved what we were supposed to achieve in year number 5. So we realized that we were in the correct track, that we were producing the wine that the world was willing to have. The packaging was okay, the quality was outstanding, and then we started to gain speed and strength to keep on moving forward. So the combination of this human team, natural conditions, I think that helped a lot. And we had the vision that no one had, that Chile was able to produce wonderful wines, and premium wines that never before no one dared to. Wine, of course, it's made out of grapes, and you need to put a lot of tender, loving care in the vineyard as well. So beyond doing a good wine making and the style of the wine, you need to have good basic grapes. And we tried to be different, to make something else that no one before did.
For example, there are the hillside vineyards. When Montes arrived in El Palta, Colchagua, the hills were covered with native vegetation. It was his vision to clear them and plant, among other varietals, Syrah, something that had never been done and, in fact, was considered absurd. Far from it. Montes's folly, Syrah from these vineyards, and a play on the reaction they got to the planting, is one of the winery's most highly reviewed and prized wines. From the beginning, Montes has featured an angel on its label. They even have an angel statue gracing the entrance to the winery. I asked Aurelio to share the story of the angel's origin.
Douglas, my partner, believes a lot in angels. And he had a couple of very severe car crashes in which nothing happened to him. And if you saw the car, it was really a severe crash. So he said, we feel that we have angels. I feel that we have angels looking after us. So we should have an angel in the winery because we have a project, we need someone to back us, to hold us. So then the angels came into this adventure. And we put the angels on the label, and we mentioned a little bit of the story of the angels on the back labels. And there they are, and they have been really very, very helpful. We're very glad we have them, actually.
There are so many special elements to Viña Montes, it's hard to know where to begin. Let's start with the winery, which is state-of-the-art and was designed adhering to the concept of feng shui. You'll find stone, metal, and wood throughout the winery. And in the thinking of feng shui, all the elements are balanced. Water flows from the outside in, coming up through stone in the middle of the building. That's a release of positive energy throughout the winery. The wall is red, the color of success. Speaking of success, Montes wines are now exported to more than 100 countries around the globe. I guess the feng shui thing is working. The calm and tranquility continues in the barrel room, where Gregorian chants soothe the wine as it ages and continues the angel theme. It's more commerce and less calm in the gift shop, where visitors can buy everything from a bottle of Montes to a variety of gifts. There's a lovely little cafe in the back of the winery, Cafe Alfredo, where visitors can have a snack, in this case some cheese, nuts, bread, and a salad with a glass of wine as they wait for a tour. Even though they're all about feng shui, Montes has all the modern amenities. Montes believes in gravity flow, moving the grapes without pumping, which can cause bruising.
Without this mechanical work on the pumps, only using gravity, we never have torn or mashed seeds or torn skins or any sort of bitterness taken out of the grapes to the wine. So gravity is an important issue in our philosophy of winemaking.
You also find a lot of tanks at Montes. That's helpful for vinifying different lots separately, which gives them more flexibility and control when it comes time to make the final wine. Montes continues to experiment there as well, starting in the vineyards, where even more of the hillsides have been cleared and new grape varietals like Grenache and Mourvedre planted. They might have called that ridiculous 20 years ago, but no more. Look for something special and new from these vines in the future. Vines are great, but wines are better, and I've got 3 to taste. First, a limited selection Sauvignon Blanc from Leda Valley, a cool region right by the ocean, perfect for Sauvignon Blanc.
This wine I call it my pool wine because by the pool in summertime with a newspaper, you can have a full bottle of this wine.
Absolutely. Oh boy, that's delicious.
Next, the relatively new Montes Alpha Carmenere. If the inaugural vintage is any indication, this wine will be a big hit.
This wine can be drunk immediately, with pleasure. And you
I
can
think it can age
And you can
easily.
lay down.
Yeah.
You can lay down for whatever, 5, 7 or 8 years,
Yeah.
and it will improve dramatically.
Last, perhaps my favorite Montes wine, Folly, Syrah from those hillside vineyards.
It's a wonderful wine, of course. It's one of my favorites, of course.
Well, again, cheers. Thank
Well,
you
cheers.
for having us.
Well, thank you for coming. It's
Great
been a
seeing
pleasure.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Viña Montes has achieved more success in 20 years than many wineries do in generations. But in the end, Montes says he just wants his wines to be approachable, no matter their price point or pedigree.
My own philosophy of winemaking, it's all about ripe fruit. It's all about a big expression of fruitness in the wine. And in red wines especially, it's all about soft, velvety, approachable tannins. So all this concept of friendly, nice, chewy, tasty wines, I want the consumer to get it. I want the consumer to enjoy it by itself or with food. And I think we're getting that.
Viña Montes, one of the best in Chile, always seeking to get better.